As the end of the year draws near, the cosmic energies align in ways that invite reflection and transformation. December 25th, 2024, presents a unique opportunity to explore the hidden patterns behind the numbers that will shape our lives in the coming weeks. But what if these numbers are more than just random digits? In Buddhist teachings, numbers are not merely for counting. They hold vibrations that influence our daily lives, our spiritual growth, and the opportunities that lie ahead. Just like the ancient monks who studied the stars and the rhythms of the universe, we too can tap into the energy of these numbers to understand where we stand and where we are headed. Imagine unlocking a secret door, revealing insights about your life's journey. This is the power of numerology when it meets the timeless wisdom of Buddhism. In Buddhism, numbers are not just symbols or tools for measurement. They are seen as carrying deep spiritual significance. The Buddhist tradition teaches that everything in the universe, from the smallest grain of sand to the vast expanse of the cosmos, operates in cycles, patterns, and vibrations. These cycles are mirrored in the numbers we encounter in our lives. In this sense, numbers can serve as keys to understanding our place in the universe. They guide us toward a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. The energy of numbers in Buddhism. Buddhist teachings emphasize the idea of interconnectedness. Everything is linked, and all things influence one another. In this framework, numbers are viewed as expressions of these connections. Each number is thought to resonate with specific qualities. These qualities can influence our lives, thoughts, and decisions. For example, the number 1 in Buddhism is often associated with the concept of unity. It symbolizes the singular nature of all things. It reflects the idea that everything in existence comes from a single source. The number 1 reminds us that, despite the apparent differences in the world, all things are part of the same whole. This is particularly relevant when we reflect on the unity of body, mind, and spirit in Buddhist philosophy. The number 1 invites us to cultivate a sense of oneness, not only with ourselves but also with the people around us and the universe at large. On the other hand, the number 2 is often seen as embodying duality and balance. In Buddhist teachings, duality refers to the interplay between opposing forces. These forces include light and dark, good and bad, joy and sorrow. These dualities are not seen as opposites to be fought against. Instead, they are complementary forces that work together to create harmony. The number 2 symbolizes this delicate balance. It reminds us to seek equilibrium in all aspects of life. Just as a musician finds harmony by balancing different notes, we too must balance our spiritual and material needs to live a fulfilling life. Numbers in Buddhist practice. In Buddhist practice, numbers are not just theoretical concepts. They are deeply embedded in rituals, meditations, and teachings. For instance, the 3 jewels of Buddhism, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, represent the core tenets of the tradition. These 3 aspects are considered fundamental to achieving enlightenment. Their symbolism speaks to the unity of the path. The Buddha represents the teacher, the Dharma the teachings, and the Sangha the community. Similarly, the 5 precepts serve as ethical guidelines for lay Buddhists. These precepts cover the basic principles of moral conduct, such as not killing, stealing, or lying. The number 5 in this context serves as a reminder of the foundational moral structure that supports one's spiritual journey. It reflects the need for a balanced life, grounded in ethics, as the foundation for deeper meditation and wisdom. Numbers also play an important role in meditation practices. For example, the 108 beads on a mala, a string of prayer beads, are used to help keep track of the repetition of mantras during meditation. The number 108 is considered auspicious in Buddhism because it symbolizes the 108 earthly desires or afflictions that keep us bound to the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, samsara. By counting the beads, practitioners focus their minds on transcending these desires and achieving a state of clarity and peace. The number 7, a path to enlightenment. In Buddhist philosophy, the number 7 is especially significant. It is often associated with spiritual development and the path to enlightenment. In many traditions, There are 7 factors of enlightenment. These include mindfulness, investigation, energy, joy, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity. These factors work together to guide practitioners toward achieving nirvana, the ultimate state of liberation. The number 7 also appears in many Buddhist texts and rituals. For example, the 7-day memorial is an important tradition in some Buddhist cultures. Here, the family of a deceased person observes the passing of 7 days to honor the spirit. The number 7 here signifies both the journey of the soul after death and the time it takes for the mind to transcend worldly attachments. One notable historical example of the number 7 influencing the course of one's life is Sakyamuni Buddha. He attained enlightenment after meditating under the Bodhi tree for 7 days and nights. His path was not an easy one, but the number 7 symbolized both the trials and the breakthroughs that he encountered along his journey. Just as Buddha spent 7 days meditating under the tree, individuals can also use the number 7 as a guide in their personal journey. This guide helps them overcome challenges and reach spiritual clarity. The number 12, a cycle of completion and renewal. The number 12 is another powerful number in Buddhist philosophy, often associated with cycles and the flow of time. The 12 links of dependent origination describe the process by which suffering arises, and the cycle of samsara continues. These links show how ignorance leads to karmic formations, which in turn lead to consciousness, name and form, and so on, until one experiences birth, aging, and death. In a more practical sense, the number 12 also represents the cyclical nature of life. The 12 months in a year, the 12 hours of the day, and the 12 zodiac signs all illustrate the rhythms and patterns that govern our existence. Just as the seasons come and go, our lives are marked by periods of growth, change, and reflection. In Buddhist teachings, this constant cycle is seen as an opportunity for personal transformation. By recognizing the impermanent nature of our experiences, we can develop the wisdom to let go of attachments and embrace the flow of life. The number 12 serves as a reminder that everything is interconnected, and the end of one cycle is always the beginning of another. In Buddhism, this idea is crucial to understanding the nature of suffering and liberation. By recognizing the transient nature of our experiences, we free ourselves from the grip of attachment and find peace in the present moment. The number 24, harmony and balance. The number 24 is often associated with balance, harmony, and partnerships, concepts that are central to Buddhist teachings. The number 2 symbolizes duality and cooperation, while the number 4 represents stability and order. Together, these numbers reflect the importance of finding harmony between opposing forces in life. In Buddhist teachings, the 4 Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path are foundational teachings that guide practitioners toward liberation. These teachings are balanced and interconnected, offering a framework for understanding and transcending suffering. The number 24 in this context serves as a reminder that we must strike a balance between effort and rest, between mindfulness and action, to achieve peace and prosperity. The number 24 also emphasizes the importance of community and partnership. In Buddhism, the Sangha, or community of practitioners, plays a vital role in supporting each other on the path to enlightenment. Whether it's through shared meditation, study, or mutual encouragement, working together creates a sense of unity and strength. The number 24 reminds us that our success is not solely dependent on our individual efforts, but also on the support and cooperation we receive from others. Applying the power of numbers in daily life. Understanding the vibrations and meanings of numbers in Buddhist philosophy can help us align ourselves with the natural flow of the universe. Just as the numbers in a clock tick in harmony with the passage of time, we too can learn to align our actions with the energy of the numbers around us. For example, if you notice the number 7 appearing frequently in your life, it may be a sign to trust your intuition and stay focused on your spiritual growth. If 12 shows up, take it as a reminder to reflect on the cycles in your life and set clear intentions for the future. When the number 24 appears, focus on building balanced and harmonious relationships, whether with family, friends, or colleagues. Incorporating these insights into your life can help you unlock new opportunities and create a life of balance, harmony, and prosperity. By understanding and aligning with the vibrations of numbers, we can guide ourselves toward a path of success, not just in material terms, but in our overall well-being and spiritual growth. In Buddhist philosophy, the number 12 is deeply symbolic. It represents the cyclical nature of life, its endless flow of endings, new beginnings, and the profound interconnectedness of all things. This cyclical pattern is a core concept in Buddhism. It is often visualized in the form of the Wheel of Dharma. The wheel is a reminder that everything is part of an ongoing cycle: birth, growth, death, and rebirth. Each turn offers an opportunity for spiritual transformation. The number 12 mirrors this process. It can guide us in times of reflection and realignment, especially during periods of transition, the cycles of life and spiritual growth. In Buddhism, understanding the nature of cycles is central to achieving wisdom. The 12 links of dependent origination describe the interconnectedness of all phenomena. They illustrate how one event leads to another, creating a chain of causes and effects that shape our experiences. This chain represents the way our actions, thoughts, and karma flow together. It shows how they ultimately shape our destiny. When we focus on the number 12, it brings us back to this awareness of cycles. 12 is not merely the number of months in a year. It symbolizes the repeating patterns of life. It invites us to reflect on the past, present, and future. The universe encourages us to recognize that each moment is a part of a greater, unfolding narrative. Every cycle, whether it's a day, a year, or a lifetime, offers us the chance to evolve and grow. December 12th, a time for reflection and realignment. One of the most powerful aspects of the number 12 is its connection to the month of December, the 12th month of the year. December is traditionally a time of reflection. As the year draws to a close, many people begin to evaluate their progress, assess what worked, and identify areas for improvement. This month invites us to pause and take stock of the lessons we've learned and the goals we've accomplished. It also invites us to realign ourselves for the year ahead. For instance, consider someone like Abraham Lincoln. He faced immense challenges during his presidency, particularly with the Civil War. Lincoln had to navigate constant opposition, failure, and criticism, but he always stayed focused on the greater vision of unity and equality. The turning point for him came not just through the events of his presidency. It came through his deep personal reflection, his understanding of cyclical change, and his ability to realign himself with his core values. Lincoln's life and leadership show how December, symbolized by the number 12, offers a natural moment to reconsider one's path. It is a time to make necessary adjustments to continue moving forward with purpose. Similarly, in the modern world, someone like Oprah Winfrey exemplifies the energy of the number 12. Her career is filled with periods of transformation. From her early struggles to becoming a powerful media mogul, she has continually evolved. She aligns herself with her higher purpose. She often reflects on the cyclical nature of her success. Oprah recognizes that each phase of her life, whether it was a challenge or a triumph, was a stepping stone that led her to the next level of growth, realignment, and transformation. The energy of 12, December, especially December 12th, carries a unique energy. It's a moment where the universe nudges us to reassess our choices. It urges us to take action to restore balance. For someone feeling stuck after a difficult year, the arrival of December 12th may bring new clarity. Imagine you've been working hard, but despite your best efforts, things haven't been moving forward. Perhaps the end of the year feels like a dead end, but on December 12th, an unexpected offer, an insight, or an opportunity comes your way. This is the magic of 12 at work. It's as if the universe is giving you a moment to realign, reorient, and adjust your course. It's an invitation to reflect on the past and use those lessons to create a future full of balance and transformation. The energy of 12 can be particularly potent when it appears at a moment of personal or professional stagnation. It's as if life is gently reminding us that every end is the start of a new cycle. As the ancient philosopher Plato said, "Time is the soul of the universe." When we attune ourselves to the cycles of time, We learn to recognize moments of transition and seize opportunities for growth. Real-life example, a career shift. Take the example of someone like Barack Obama, whose career and leadership were marked by several key moments of realignment. In 2008, he was elected President of the United States, but his rise to the presidency didn't happen overnight. His early years were marked by personal challenges. He often reflected on his purpose and the direction of his political career. Obama's message of change and hope resonated with many. This was particularly because he understood the need for transformation at both personal and collective levels. For him, the year-end moments, like December 12th, symbolized reflection and the courage to make necessary changes to align with his ideals. It was through this constant reflection and realignment that he navigated the complex political landscape. He transformed challenges into opportunities for growth, embracing change and moving forward. In essence, the number 12 is not just about endings, but about rebirth and transformation. The energy of 12 urges us to embrace the inevitable cycles of life, acknowledging that change is the only constant. For anyone facing uncertainty or difficulty, this energy can serve as a powerful reminder that new opportunities are always on the horizon. Think of it this way: life moves in patterns, like the 12 signs of the zodiac, each representing a different stage of personal development. Just as Queen Elizabeth II navigated decades of change as the longest reigning monarch in British history, adapting to evolving political landscapes and societal expectations, we too are invited to flow with the cycles of change. Elizabeth, through her reign, embodied the resilience and ability to reflect on her place in a rapidly changing world, always adapting and transforming to maintain balance and harmony. Conclusion: realigning for new beginnings. The number 12 in Buddhist philosophy encourages us to recognize that we are always in the midst of cycles of growth, reflection, and transformation. As December approaches and the year closes, this number invites us to pause, reassess, and take action. Whether we are working on personal development, professional projects, or spiritual growth, December 12th serves as a reminder to stay attuned to the natural rhythms of life. By embracing the transformative energy of 12, we can realign ourselves and step into the future with renewed clarity and purpose, ready to make the most of the next cycle of opportunities that await us. The number 24 holds a special significance in Buddhism. It symbolizes harmony, cooperation, and balance in relationships. It teaches us the importance of selflessness, generosity, and the interconnectedness of all beings. In Buddhist philosophy, generosity, or dana, is considered one of the highest forms of virtue. The concept goes beyond the simple act of giving. It reflects a deep understanding that when we give, we not only help others, but also invite abundance and joy into our own lives. Cooperation and balance in relationships. The number 24 speaks to the harmony that can be achieved when we work together. It reminds us that no one is an island. We are all part of a larger network of relationships, whether with family, friends, or colleagues. In Buddhism, this interconnectedness is a central theme. Just as the wheel of Dharma represents the interdependence of all things, 24 symbolizes the idea that cooperation and balance in relationships lead to spiritual growth and personal fulfillment. Think about famous figures like Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr. They practiced generosity and cooperation to bring people together for a common cause. Their leadership was not about dominance or control, but about fostering unity and mutual respect. Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolent resistance and satyagraha was based on the idea of selfless action. He believed that true power comes from love and compassion, not force or coercion. Gandhi's ability to bring together people from all walks of life to fight for India's independence is a testament to the energy of the number 24. It represents the power of cooperation and harmony in achieving a common goal. Similarly, Martin Luther King Jr. demonstrated the power of generosity in his pursuit of civil rights. King didn't just call for change. He called for a change that came from a place of love and unity. His commitment to peaceful protest and his ability to build coalitions across racial and socio-economic lines reflected the deep wisdom of 24. He understood that through cooperation, we can achieve balance and make a meaningful impact on the world. The energy of generosity. At the heart of the number 24 is the principle of generosity, which is not limited to material wealth. Generosity can take many forms: time, attention, kindness, or wisdom. In Buddhism, giving is seen as a way of cultivating positive karma, creating a flow of energy that benefits both the giver and the receiver. When we give without expecting anything in return, we align ourselves with the natural flow of abundance. Consider Mother Teresa, whose life was a profound example of generosity. She dedicated herself entirely to helping the poorest of the poor in Calcutta, India. Her acts of service weren't just about providing material needs, but about giving love and compassion to those who were often ignored by society. Mother Teresa's generosity was rooted in a deep sense of interconnectedness, and her life is a powerful illustration of how acts of kindness, no matter how small, can create ripples of positive change. The energy of 24 resonates in her story, teaching us that when we give, we open ourselves up to receive, sometimes in ways we never expect. In modern times, Oprah Winfrey serves as another example of how generosity can create a ripple effect. Oprah built an empire, not just by creating a successful media brand, but by focusing on uplifting others. She has given away millions of dollars, helped countless individuals through her charity, and shared her personal struggles in ways that have empowered others. Oprah's generosity, both materially and emotionally, has brought her immense joy and fulfillment, demonstrating how the act of giving invites abundance into our lives. Just as the number 24 teaches us, a real-life example, the ripple effect of generosity. Imagine a scenario where you helped someone in need, perhaps a colleague struggling with a project, a friend going through a difficult time, or a stranger who simply needed a listening ear. Your act of kindness might not have seemed significant in the moment, but the energy of 24 reminds us that even small gestures create ripples. These ripples reverberate far beyond what we can see. Just as Albert Einstein once said, "You never fail until you stop trying." Every act of generosity sends out energy into the world. Over time, those ripples come back to you, often in unexpected forms. Take, for example, the story of Bill Gates. His philanthropic work through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has had a profound impact on global health and education. Bill Gates' wealth was not solely built from his own efforts. It was also a result of how he was able to foster relationships and collaborate with others in the tech world. His generosity has paved the way for others to follow suit. This has created a chain reaction of giving. The impact of his generosity continues to benefit millions of people around the world. It shows how the energy of 24 operates in the real world, through cooperation, generosity, and the balance it brings to our lives. Generosity and the flow of abundance. Generosity creates a flow of abundance, not just materially but emotionally and spiritually as well. When we give, we tap into a greater energy, one that transcends the individual and extends to the collective. This is the core of 24. That every act of kindness and cooperation contributes to the overall harmony of the world. Whether it's offering your time to a friend or donating to a cause, the energy of 24 encourages us to embrace selflessness and generosity, knowing that by doing so, we are enhancing the well-being of ourselves and others. In Buddhism, we are reminded that true generosity is not about giving what we can afford, but giving from the heart. It's about creating a connection, a bridge between ourselves and others. The more we give, the more we invite into our lives, whether it's love, joy, or even material wealth. The number 24 is a reminder that giving is not a transaction. It's a flow of energy that creates balance and harmony, both in our personal relationships and in the world at large. Conclusion: the cycle of giving. The number 24 teaches us that the acts of cooperation, generosity, and balance are fundamental to creating meaningful relationships and a fulfilling life. Whether it's through acts of kindness, service, or collaboration, the energy of 24 encourages us to give without expectation and trust that the universe will return this kindness in ways we may not always anticipate. just as the world's most influential leaders and figures have demonstrated throughout history. The more we embrace the energy of 24, the more we align ourselves with the flow of abundance, leading to greater harmony in all aspects of our lives. The number 17 holds powerful symbolism in both Buddhism and personal growth. It represents resilience, intuition, and the ability to overcome obstacles. In its essence, 17 merges the energy of 1, symbolizing leadership and independence, with the introspective and spiritual energy of 7. This combination of qualities makes 17 a reminder to trust our inner wisdom and intuition, especially in challenging times. It's a number that encourages us to face adversity with courage, knowing that the obstacles we encounter are not roadblocks. Rather, they are stepping stones on our path to growth. Resilience in the face of adversity. In Buddhism, resilience is not merely about enduring hardship. It's about seeing obstacles as opportunities for spiritual growth. The Buddha himself experienced immense suffering throughout his life. Yet it was through overcoming these challenges that he attained enlightenment. 17 encapsulates this lesson perfectly. The combination of 1 and 7 reflects the balance between taking bold, decisive action and listening deeply to our inner selves. During tough times, the number 17 urges us to trust our intuition, rather than relying solely on external solutions. Take, for example, Winston Churchill. His leadership during World War II is a textbook example of resilience. Despite facing one of the darkest periods in modern history, Churchill's determination and unwavering belief in the strength of the British people kept them fighting. He famously said, "If you're going through hell, keep going." This is the energy of 17, trusting that no matter how difficult the situation, we possess the inner strength to navigate it and emerge victorious. Similarly, Nelson Mandela demonstrated resilience throughout his life. After spending 27 years in prison, Mandela emerged not bitter, but with a vision of reconciliation and a desire to lead his nation toward unity. His ability to forgive and lead South Africa toward peace after decades of apartheid is a testament to the transformative power of resilience. Intuition as a guiding force. The energy of 17 also draws attention to the importance of intuition in making decisions. When life gets tough, it can be easy to rely on logical thinking alone, but 17 reminds us to also listen to our inner voice. The introspective nature of 7 invites us to look inward. It encourages us to trust our instincts and act from a place of spiritual clarity. One modern example of intuition in action is Oprah Winfrey. She often speaks about the importance of trusting one's inner guidance in making both personal and professional decisions. Oprah's career has been a series of intuitive decisions. She has often gone against conventional wisdom to follow what felt right for her. In her own words, "The single most important thing you can do in your life is to follow your instincts and your intuition." Oprah's success is a perfect example of how intuition can guide us toward our true purpose. It also shows how resilience in the face of doubt can lead to profound transformation. In Buddhist teachings, there is a strong emphasis on mindfulness and meditation to cultivate this inner awareness. By practicing meditation, we can begin to recognize the quiet whispers of intuition that guide us toward the right path. The number 17 encourages us to tune into this deeper wisdom. It reminds us to trust that it will lead us through adversity, just as the lotus rises from the mud to bloom in the sunlight. He once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." His journey reflects the essence of 17, where intuition and resilience come together to overcome even the most daunting challenges, overcoming obstacles as opportunities for growth. The number 17 invites us to reframe our view of challenges. Rather than seeing them as setbacks, we are encouraged to see them as opportunities for growth. This aligns closely with the Buddhist concept of dukkha, often translated as suffering. The Buddha taught that suffering is an inherent part of life, but it's also a catalyst for growth and enlightenment. Through suffering, we learn resilience, develop compassion, and gain clarity. Steve Jobs was a modern example of someone who faced multiple setbacks, but he used them as opportunities for growth. After being ousted from Apple, the company he founded, Jobs didn't retreat into bitterness. Instead, He founded Next and Pixar, both of which contributed significantly to his later success. When he returned to Apple in the 1990s, he led the company through a period of innovation that revolutionized the tech industry. Jobs once said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards." His journey is a clear example of the 17 energy, using resilience and intuition to turn adversity into triumph. The lotus and the mud, a symbol of spiritual transformation. The metaphor of the lotus rising from the mud is one of the most powerful images in Buddhism. It beautifully encapsulates the energy of 17. The lotus grows in the muck and murk of the water, but rises above it to bloom into something pure and beautiful. This is the essence of spiritual resilience, understanding that our greatest challenges are often the soil from which our greatest strengths grow. Just as the lotus needs the mud to grow, we, too, need obstacles in our lives to cultivate wisdom and resilience. The number 17 serves as a reminder that, like the lotus, we are capable of rising above any challenge. We can emerge stronger, wiser, and more enlightened, trusting your inner wisdom. As we navigate life's challenges, 17 encourages us to trust in the wisdom that lies within. It's easy to feel overwhelmed in difficult situations, but when we step back and listen to our inner voice, we often find that we already have the answers we need. This is where the 7 energy comes into play, the introspective nature that asks us to pause and reflect. We trust that the clarity we need will emerge from within. Think about the example of Eleanor Roosevelt. She faced personal struggles, public scrutiny, and immense pressure throughout her life. Despite these challenges, she relied on her intuition and deep sense of justice. She became an iconic figure in human rights. Her work with the United Nations and her role in drafting the Universal Declaration of Human Rights are testaments to how resilience and intuition can guide us toward meaningful change. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." This speaks to the power of inner strength and intuition, 2 qualities that 17 encourages us to cultivate. Conclusion: rising above with resilience and intuition. The number 17 is a call to action, urging us to trust our intuition, embrace our resilience, and see obstacles as opportunities for growth. By following the energy of 17, we can face life's challenges with grace, knowing that we have the strength and wisdom to emerge victorious. Like the lotus that rises from the mud, we, too, can transform through adversity, learning, and growing as we move forward on our spiritual journey. Through the leadership of 1 and the introspection of 7, we unlock the power within ourselves to navigate life's obstacles and come out stronger on the other side. The number 10 is deeply symbolic, representing the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. In numerology, it's seen as the culmination of the single digits, 1 to 9, which gives it a unique quality of both closure and infinite possibility. It's a number that embodies the dual nature of completion and new beginnings, what Buddhism refers to as impermanence. According to Buddhist philosophy, all things are in a constant state of flux. Everything we experience, whether it's joy, pain, or success, eventually changes. And with each ending comes the opportunity for a fresh start, embracing impermanence. At the core of Buddhism is the teaching that nothing is permanent. This idea resonates perfectly with the energy of 10. In our lives, things inevitably change, whether we want them to or not. The number 10 invites us to embrace that change, to accept it as part of the natural rhythm of life, and to move forward with clarity and grace. Change doesn't have to be feared or resisted. Rather, it can be seen as a catalyst for growth, a stepping stone that leads us to new opportunities. Consider the example of Abraham Lincoln, whose life was marked by a series of failures before he achieved his ultimate success as President of the United States. Before becoming president, Lincoln failed in business, lost elections, and faced personal tragedies. Yet, each failure was a necessary part of his journey, teaching him resilience and the ability to adapt. His story is a perfect reflection of the energy of 10, the idea that no matter how many setbacks we face, there is always an opportunity for a new beginning. Lincoln's ability to reinvent himself time and time again mirrors the Buddhist concept of impermanence. Everything changes, and even the most challenging experiences can lead to growth and transformation. Letting go of the past. As December approaches, it naturally invites us to reflect on the year that's coming to a close. The energy of 10 is perfect for this time of year, as it encourages us to look back at what we've accomplished, and, just as importantly, what we need to let go of. It's about shedding the old and making space for the new. This could mean releasing outdated habits, toxic relationships, or lingering regrets. The process of letting go is not always easy, but it's essential for making room for new beginnings. One contemporary example of someone who embraced the power of letting go and starting anew is Oprah Winfrey. Oprah's story is one of transformation, beginning with a difficult childhood and a career that saw many setbacks. At several points in her life, she could have given up, but instead, she chose to release limiting beliefs and embrace new opportunities. Stepping into the future. The number 10 carries a special power when it comes to envisioning the future. After reflecting on the past, it's time to look ahead. In Buddhism, this is where mindfulness comes into play. The practice of being present in the moment while also having the awareness to plan for the future. 10 represents a clean slate, a chance to start fresh without the weight of past mistakes or regrets. In the modern world, we can see how this energy plays out in the lives of influential people. Take Barack Obama, for instance. When he was elected president in 2008, he was taking the reins of a nation in crisis. His message of hope and change resonated deeply with Americans, especially those who felt disenfranchised. Obama's rise to the presidency wasn't just about political success. It was a new beginning for the country, one that involved letting go of old ways of thinking and embracing a vision of progress. He famously said, "We are the change we've been waiting for." The number 10 can be seen in his leadership style, as he embodied the idea of moving forward with a renewed sense of purpose and optimism. Whether it was creating her own television network or leading powerful conversations about spirituality and personal growth, Oprah demonstrates how letting go of the past, whether through forgiveness, acceptance, or personal evolution, can lead to monumental success. Oprah's ability to embrace new beginnings, despite past challenges, exemplifies the 10 energy of transformation, the cycles of life and new beginnings. One of the most compelling aspects of the number 10 is its connection to the natural cycles of life. The end of one phase always leads to the start of another. In nature, we see this constant rhythm. The seasons change, and with each change comes something new. New flowers bloom, new crops are planted, and new creatures are born. The number 10 reflects this cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This is a fundamental concept in both numerology and Buddhist teachings. Think about the example of Queen Elizabeth I of England. Her reign marked the end of the medieval period and the dawn of the Renaissance in England. She navigated her country through turbulent political times. Her leadership gave birth to a new era of exploration, art, and thought. Elizabeth's reign, much like the 10, was a moment of completion, but it also set the stage for new beginnings in English history. Her ability to balance the weight of the past with the promise of the future shows how the number 10 can symbolize the intersection of past achievements and future potential. New beginnings on a personal level. On a more personal level, the number 10 serves as a reminder that every new day is an opportunity to start fresh. It invites us to be intentional about our actions and decisions, knowing that every small choice can ripple out to create change in our lives. It might mean making healthier choices, embarking on a new career path, or simply choosing to be more mindful in our daily interactions. Consider Marie Curie, who, after facing the death of her beloved husband, didn't retreat into grief. Instead, she moved forward with a sense of purpose, discovering radium and polonium, two elements that would shape the future of science. Her life exemplifies the energy of 10, as she embraced new beginnings. Even in the face of personal loss and hardship, her groundbreaking work in radioactivity didn't just contribute to science. It changed the world forever. Just as the number 10 suggests, the completion of one chapter leads to a new and transformative beginning. The power of renewal. The energy of 10 is all about renewal. It encourages us to celebrate what we've achieved, but also to release what no longer serves us. This number challenges us to fully embrace the process of change and transformation, knowing that with every end, there is a new beginning waiting just around the corner. As we reflect on the year ahead, let the number 10 guide you. Whether it's in your personal life, career, or relationships, the number 10 reminds us that impermanence is not to be feared, but embraced. It's a natural rhythm of life that moves us toward greater growth and deeper understanding. As we let go of the old and step into the new, we align ourselves with the universe's infinite potential. The number 6 is deeply rooted in the energy of compassion and service, both of which are central themes in Buddhist teachings. In numerology, 6 is often referred to as the mother number, representing nurturing, care, and a deep sense of responsibility for others. Buddhism teaches us that true service comes from a place of deep mindfulness, being present in the moment and recognizing that our actions can alleviate the suffering of others. It's not about fulfilling an obligation, but about offering something from the heart, without expectation. The spirit of service and compassion. At its core, the number 6 is a reminder to act selflessly, to give without the need for recognition or reward. This isn't about grand gestures or performing for others. It's about small, everyday acts of kindness that stem from a genuine love and understanding of others' needs. In Buddhist philosophy, these acts are seen as a way to cultivate compassion and connectedness with all beings. It's an understanding that helping others is not a burden, but a privilege, a chance to cultivate our own inner peace while making the world a little bit kinder. One of the most prominent examples of someone who embodied the energy of 6 was Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi's life was defined by his service to others, particularly in his role as a leader of India's nonviolent independence movement. He believed deeply in the power of compassion, not just as an idea, but as a way of life. His Salt March, in which he led thousands of people to protest British salt taxes, was not just a political act, it was an act of service, driven by love for his fellow countrymen and a desire to end their suffering. Gandhi's entire philosophy was built on serving others without expecting anything in return. And this mirrors the energy of the number 6. Living in harmony with the number 6. To live in harmony with the number 6 is to embody a lifestyle of service. It means showing up for people not because you have to, but because you genuinely care. It's about approaching all relationships, personal and professional, with the intent to uplift, rather than to take. One example of a modern-day figure who exemplifies this energy is Taylor Swift. Known for her charity work and outreach to fans, Swift often demonstrates acts of compassion, from personally donating to causes she believes in to surprising her fans with gifts or personal messages. Swift's approach is not about seeking validation, but about connecting with her audience on a deep, personal level. This is an embodiment of the number 6's spirit of service without expecting anything in return. The number 6 teaches us that true joy and fulfillment come not from self-service, but from giving freely and mindfully to others. Consider someone helping a friend move into a new apartment. The task may be physically demanding, yet the person offering assistance isn't motivated by an obligation. They're motivated by a genuine desire to ease their friend's burden. This act of selfless service, no matter how small, is what the number 6 represents. It reminds us that kindness has a ripple effect, touching not only the person being helped, but the one offering help as well. Compassion in the face of adversity. Compassion also means showing up in difficult times. The number 6 encourages us to cultivate this quality even when it's hard. Mother Teresa is perhaps the most iconic modern example of someone who dedicated her life to serving others. She focused particularly on the poor and sick in Calcutta, India. She famously said, "Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love." Mother Teresa lived in harmony with the number 6. She offered service to others not for any external reward, but because she understood that through service, we cultivate deeper empathy and connection with the world. The energy of 6 encourages us to compassionately navigate life's challenges. It calls us to show kindness even when it's difficult, and to remain mindful of the needs of others. In Buddhism, This approach is not just about the external actions we take. It's also about how we cultivate these qualities within ourselves. It's about training the mind to be aware of the suffering around us and responding with patience, understanding, and care. Small acts of service with great impact. Sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness can make the biggest impact. When you hold the door for a stranger, share a meal with someone who is hungry, or simply listen when someone needs to talk, you are engaging in the kind of service that the number 6 embodies. These actions may seem small, but they carry profound meaning. Barack Obama, for example, throughout his presidency, often spoke about the importance of community and service. His My Brother's Keeper initiative focused on giving young men of color the opportunity to succeed by connecting them with mentors and support networks. His commitment to lifting others up, especially those in disadvantaged communities, echoes the spirit of the number 6. In Buddhism, these acts of kindness are seen as part of our spiritual practice. Service isn't just a way to help others. It's a way to cultivate mindfulness and deepen our own sense of compassion. Every act of service becomes an opportunity to align ourselves with our higher purpose, to live with intention, and to transform our own hearts in the process. The true joy of giving. At its heart, the number 6 is about finding joy through service. This is not a joy rooted in external validation, but in the internal satisfaction that comes from making the world a better place. Even in small ways, Dolly Parton, known for her philanthropic efforts, particularly her Imagination Library, which provides free books to children, exemplifies the joy of giving. Parton's generosity isn't motivated by fame or wealth. Rather, it stems from a desire to share with others and to make a difference in their lives. She demonstrates that true happiness comes from the love and joy we bring to others, in whatever form that may take. In our own lives, the energy of the number 6 can guide us to live more consciously, more compassionately, and more connected to the world around us. By embracing the power of service, we tap into an infinite well of love and compassion, creating harmony not only in our own lives, but in the lives of others as well. This is the true essence of the number 6, to live with an open heart, offering help freely, and trusting that through this service, we are all uplifted. The number 8 is a powerful symbol in numerology, deeply associated with abundance, prosperity, and the infinite flow of energy. In many cultures, the number 8 is viewed as a sign of success, financial gain, and material fulfillment. Its shape, with its continuous loop, represents the never-ending cycle of energy, success, and manifestation. But in Buddhist teachings, the number 8 carries a deeper, more profound meaning. While it symbolizes material wealth, it reminds us that true fulfillment isn't found in the accumulation of possessions or status. It's about the intent behind what we gain and how we choose to use it. The spiritual significance of the number 8. In Buddhism, wealth and prosperity are not seen as the end goal. Instead, the number 8 teaches us that material abundance is a tool, not a destination. The true purpose of wealth is to support a life of purpose, to give us the means to create meaning and fulfillment, and to help others along the way. The energy of the number 8 calls us to balance the material and spiritual aspects of our lives, ensuring that our pursuits do not overshadow our deeper values. Consider someone like Oprah Winfrey, who embodies the energy of the number 8 through her rise to success and her remarkable ability to use her wealth to make a positive impact. Oprah didn't amass her fortune for the sake of material gain alone. She has consistently used her influence and financial success to uplift others, whether through her philanthropic efforts, such as the Oprah Winfrey Foundation, or her work to raise awareness about important social issues. Oprah's story shows that when we align our pursuit of wealth with a higher purpose, we tap into the true power of the number 8, manifestation, and the law of attraction. The number 8 is also closely tied to the concept of manifestation. In the spiritual world, manifestation refers to the ability to attract the things we desire into our lives through our thoughts, feelings, and intentions. The number 8 reminds us that we have the power to shape our own reality by consciously directing our energy toward our goals. However, it also teaches us that simply desiring wealth isn't enough. Intentional action is the key. Think of someone like Elon Musk. He has used his innovative thinking and entrepreneurial spirit to manifest incredible financial success. Musk didn't just dream of revolutionizing the automobile industry with Tesla or venturing into space with SpaceX. He visualized these achievements and took deliberate steps to turn them into reality. In many ways, he embodies the energy of the number 8. He focuses not just on financial success, but on the power of his vision and the impact that success can have on the world. Wealth as a tool for greater purpose. While the number 8 is undeniably tied to wealth and material success, it serves as a reminder that these things are meant to serve a higher purpose. Money, in this sense, is not the source of happiness, but a vehicle that allows us to create a more meaningful life, one that can serve others and contribute to the greater good. In Buddhism, the concept of right livelihood teaches that we should earn our wealth in ways that are ethical and beneficial to others. This is where the balance of the number 8 comes into play. Success is only truly fulfilling when it is in harmony with our deeper values. A great example of this balance can be found in Bill Gates, whose financial success with Microsoft has enabled him to launch some of the most impactful philanthropic efforts in history. Through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Gates has donated billions to fight poverty, improve healthcare, and expand access to education worldwide. His story illustrates how wealth, when used with purpose, can bring about not only personal abundance but global transformation. The number 8 urges us to think beyond individual success and recognize the responsibility that comes with it. Finding harmony between material success and inner fulfillment. In modern times, many people are focused on financial success. They think that more money will lead to more happiness. However, the number 8 encourages us to reconsider this narrow view. True abundance doesn't just come from accumulating wealth. It's about creating a life that is rich in meaning and purpose. Financial success, in this context, becomes a tool to create greater freedom and opportunity, not just for ourselves, but for others as well. Take Queen Elizabeth II, for example. As a monarch, she didn't just inherit wealth and status. She used her position to foster diplomatic relations, support charitable causes, and maintain a strong sense of tradition and service. Her reign wasn't just about the wealth and privilege of the crown. It was about how she used her influence and resources to serve the greater good. In many ways, she epitomized the balance that the number 8 represents. The combination of material wealth and spiritual purpose. Abundance is a reflection of balance. The number 8 invites us to think about balance. True prosperity isn't just about how much we can accumulate. It's about how much we can give, how much we can share, and how we can use our wealth to create opportunities for others. Jay-Z, for example, took his success in music and turned it into a diversified empire. His investments range from fashion to real estate. But what's more inspiring is how he's used his success to support social justice initiatives. He focuses on economic empowerment in marginalized communities. His business ventures are not solely driven by financial gain. They are motivated by a desire to create meaningful impact. This idea of balance is also a key teaching in Buddhism. The middle way is the path of moderation. It is through finding harmony between extremes that we can create lasting peace and happiness. The number 8 encourages us to avoid the extremes of greed and excess. Instead, it invites us to embrace a more conscious approach to wealth. When we do so, we open ourselves to the true abundance that comes from a life well lived. This abundance is not just in material wealth, but in the richness of experiences, relationships, and purpose. The key takeaway: purposeful prosperity. In the end, the number 8 teaches us that abundance is a state of mind. Wealth is not inherently bad or good. It's what we do with it that matters. Whether it's through philanthropy, investing in our communities, or using our financial success to create a life that feels fulfilling. The number 8 invites us to think about the greater purpose of our prosperity. True manifestation comes not from the accumulation of wealth alone, but from the conscious use of that wealth to create a life of purpose, balance, and service to others. Through this, we unlock the full power of the number 8. a power that transcends material gain and moves into the realm of spiritual fulfillment and abundance. The number 5 is often viewed as a symbol of freedom and change. It's the number that speaks to our natural desire to break free from limitations, to explore new territories, and to seek experiences that challenge and transform us. The energy of 5 encourages flexibility, adaptability, and a willingness to step into the unknown. In a world that's constantly shifting, the number 5 reminds us that change is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Change as the only constant. In Buddhist philosophy, change is a central teaching. The concept of impermanence, or anicca, tells us that everything in life is transient. Our thoughts, emotions, relationships, and even our physical surroundings are in a constant state of flux. The number 5 resonates with this fundamental truth. It urges us to accept the inevitable nature of change and to remain open to the opportunities it brings. The Buddhist approach doesn't view change as a threat, but as a natural part of the cycle of life. It's through embracing change that we grow and evolve on our spiritual journey. Consider someone like Barack Obama. He exemplified the energy of the number 5 throughout his political career. His presidency was marked by moments of intense change, both in terms of policy and the social climate. When he took office, the U.S. was grappling with a deep recession, yet he embraced the challenges with a sense of purpose and adaptability. Obama's decision to push for major healthcare reform, in particular, was a step into the unknown, a bold move that changed the course of American healthcare. The energy of 5 is about taking bold steps in uncertain times, trusting that change can lead to something better. Flexibility and adaptability. The number 5 thrives on adaptability. It's the number that understands that life's journey is often unpredictable. Rather than resisting the changes that come, we can flow with them. Think of Steve Jobs, who was known for his ability to adapt and transform, not just himself, but entire industries. When Jobs returned to Apple in the late 1990s, the company was on the verge of bankruptcy. Instead of clinging to old models, he reinvented the brand, pushing the envelope with products like the iPod, iPhone, and MacBook, revolutionizing the tech world. This willingness to embrace change, to innovate and evolve, is the essence of the number 5. Similarly, Maya Angelou, a renowned poet and activist, lived through multiple transformations in her life, each one reflecting the fluid, ever-changing nature of her personal and professional journey. Angelou's decision to return to writing after a career in dance, theater, and activism exemplifies the number 5's message of embracing change with grace and openness. Her willingness to reinvent herself allowed her to have a profound impact on literature and civil rights, demonstrating that embracing new directions can lead to deeper fulfillment. The freedom to choose. The number 5 also represents freedom. The freedom to make choices, to change our minds, and to chart new courses. In many ways, freedom and change are inseparable. True freedom comes when we let go of rigid expectations. We allow ourselves to evolve. Oprah Winfrey is a modern-day example of this freedom. Despite coming from humble beginnings, she embraced the unpredictability of her journey. She made bold decisions that allowed her to shape her career and life on her own terms. Her openness to change is what made her one of the most influential women in the world. Even in the realm of political leadership, Winston Churchill embodied the freedom that comes with embracing change. During World War II, Churchill led the British people through a period of extreme uncertainty and hardship. His speeches rallied the nation to embrace the ever-changing battlefield. He reminded them that freedom can only be secured through the ability to adapt to new circumstances. Churchill's resilience in the face of change mirrored the energy of the number 5. This energy emphasizes that growth and success often come from the most challenging transformations. Navigating the storms of change. The number 5 teaches us that we mustn't fear the storms that come with change, but instead, learn to ride them. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and how we respond to them shapes the course of our lives. The call to adventure. Ultimately, the number 5 speaks to our innate desire for adventure and self-discovery. It challenges us to step outside our comfort zones and embrace life's unpredictable nature, with a sense of excitement rather than fear. Consider Richard Branson, whose life has been a series of bold decisions and leaps of faith. From founding Virgin Records to launching his own airline and space tourism company, Branson has consistently embraced change, seeing it as a path to greater success and fulfillment. His life embodies the spirit of the number 5, urging us to seize the opportunities that come with change and transform them into something extraordinary. In essence, the number 5 calls us to embrace the flow of life, to understand that change is inevitable, but how we respond to it can determine our destiny. By becoming more adaptable and willing to change, we open ourselves to freedom to grow, to explore, and to create new opportunities that will shape a more fulfilling life. Whether in our careers, relationships, or personal growth, the number 5 encourages us to trust in the power of change and to view each shift in life as a doorway to new possibilities. In Buddhism, this is where mindfulness becomes key. By being present and aware, we can navigate through difficult times with clarity and grace. The number 5 encourages us to practice letting go of expectations and trusting the process. Imagine a situation where you've been presented with a sudden opportunity to change careers, or perhaps even relocate to a new city. The number 5 asks you to approach this with openness, to trust your inner wisdom and your capacity to adapt. It's like a surfer riding a wave. Rather than fighting against the current, you learn to flow with it, finding your balance and momentum along the way. Sometimes, the most beautiful transformations come from stepping into the unknown with courage and faith. As we step into December 25th, 2024, let these numbers guide you toward the insights and opportunities that are just waiting to be uncovered. Do you feel the energy shifting? What number calls out to you today? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's walk this path of discovery together, embracing the wisdom that these numbers bring. Remember, just as in Buddhism, the journey toward understanding is not a race but a mindful walk. Take your time, reflect, and trust the process. Which number resonates with you? Let's talk about it below.